not existing in the human realm or being caught up with the human realm, not comparing themselves to anyone or anything, not competing with anybody, not declaring yourself as the best, never doing anything to get better or to achieve anything, but to just be here and dissolve the person and no longer be you. Forget about yourself. Forget about what you are and who you are, your name, your label, your identity, your gimmick. Just be this. Stillness, just sitting here. You don't have to achieve anything. You don't have to be anything. You just allow yourself to just settle and be one with yourself and be one with all things. Don't give anything a name. Stick is not a stick. A bird is not a bird. You just look at it. You just see it. And all things are around you. Life moves. You see it. You detach from whatever you said that you were. You no longer need it. You could just sit here and be connected to everything around you. Connected with all things. Be with all things. And out of that comes appreciation and gratitude for all life. Not your life, because your life is false. It's just historical conditioning and cultural conditioning since before you were born to where you are now. Who told you were this or that? Who gave you these responsibilities? Who told you you had to be a certain way? Was it your society? Was it your schooling? Was it your family? Such pressures people put on you. But to just be here and to not need anything anymore. You need shelter, food, clothing, and water. So simple. How much money do you really need for those things? It's the extra things that keep us busy, running around to attain money. The desire to be seen in a certain light, to be accepted by the other humans. How we always desire to be accepted by the other humans. But tribal society is dead. There's no getting kicked out of a tribe. There's no worry anymore about being rejected by the tribe and wandering alone and dying by getting eaten by some saber-toothed tiger. There's none of that. If you're a weirdo, you're a weirdo. If you no longer want to exist with the humans, you don't have to. It's not like you're going to starve anymore because they're not going to give you meat from the saber-toothed tiger that they just caught and hunted. You'll be okay. You'll survive. It's okay to be weird. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be strange. It's okay to not be accepted. It's more important to be rejected and be a part of the true movement of all things than be accepted into a sick society that's programmed and obsessed with rectangles and wants to be successful and famous and known and financially superior to all people. What is all that? Obsessed with looks. You're going to lose everything in the long run. You're going to lose your looks. You're going to get older. One day you're going to turn around, you're going to be 78, and you're not going to be the best looking person in your town anymore. Can you handle that? Can you handle not being the best looking person in your town? Can you handle that? Well, you could say my looks matter because they're going to help me get a attractive mate. They're going to help me be accepted by people. They're going to help me get a job. Looks are very important in this society. They are. Of course they are. Do you know that people actually get happy when they look at a good looking, attractive person? Chemicals fire off in their brain. Dopamine and serotonin are released whenever you look at a good looking, attractive person. Symmetrically, evolutionary wise, you actually become happier when you see a good looking person. As soon as you look at them, the dopamine and serotonin is released from the brain. So you actually get happier when you see an attractive person. That's so interesting. So of course we're obsessed with attractive people in this society because you get happy every time you see an attractive person. Why wouldn't you find something obsessive that made you happy? You're going to find anything, or you will be obsessed with anything for a little bit when you know that it makes you happy, until you realize that it's unhealthy for you. Chocolate makes me happy, so does ice cream. But after I eat chocolate and ice cream for a long time, I get depressed. Being attractive and being good looking makes me happy. But after a while, I start to become depressed because I become so obsessed with it. And I'm getting older. So what's going to happen? The depression sets in because you're focusing on something to make you happy that you have no control over. You have no control over time. You have no control over age. You just naturally get older. And all of a sudden you look in the mirror and you're 73 and you're like, oh my goodness, no one's attracted to me anymore. Sure, you may be good looking for a 73-year-old, but when you walk into the grocery store, a 26-year-old doesn't think you're hot. And then you're like, oh my goodness, no 26-year-old thinks I'm hot anymore. I'm just a 73-year-old. I'm so terrified. I've lost my identity. I've lost myself. What do I do now? And that's the thing. The only way to true fulfillment is to just be present, to forget who you are, to forget what you are, to stop enhancing the self, to dissolve the self, to no longer be a person, to no longer be a human, to no longer want what humans want, but to just be here, attached and connected to all things. You're no longer you. You're just it, connected to it, creation, existence, all things around you. You don't have a name anymore. Nothing has a name anymore. You don't have a label anymore. Nothing has a label anymore. You're just with it, seeing it, spending time with it. And that's all.